that's going to shiver your timbers, that's going to be real uncomfortable and uneasy. Well, I bring to you an interview with Officer Tatum and Chris Como, who, in my opinion, hasn't been an ally from the start. But they're going to go over the facts and the details in this case, man. And I swear I'm going to try to keep my opinions to myself. But you know how that go. I'm Jay Live, I scout the internet so that you don't have to. And we finna go ahead and get in this interview, man. Let's do it.
Oh, here, welcome to Cuomo Crime Time. We have new developments in Nolan Wells, a new perspective on what we know so far.
Come on, let's do it.
Is there reason to suspect that Nolan Wells' friends had something to do with his death?
Mm-hmm.
Intentional, unintentional? What do you think? And on what basis, more importantly? There is new information. There is new understanding of what may be coming out. But we already know so much that has to be processed. Specifically, the timeline, specifically the true nature of the interactions or lack thereof between the family and the friend group. Now there's word that the friend group is raising money for what? Why? Why did the family respond to Nolan's alleged or believed, assumed friends the way they did?
Exactly.
Brandon Tatum is a lightning rod. Why? Black guy who talks conservative politics. Black guy who supports the president. Black guy who is not open to the idea that in Nolan Wells, it's got to be about race.
Terrible guy.
Mississippi had interviews that definitely shed light on who we're dealing with here and what's going on. So I asked Brandon Tatum to come back to talk about the response to what he learned, what he now knows that he can share with us, and what he believes the state of play is with what is resonating on the story of Nolan Wells. And there's one thing that we agree on right off the top. Nolan Wells was a great young man. And he was a tremendous loss, obviously, to his family, but also to his friends and to his community.
I can agree.
And we often get distracted by how someone dies, and we forget how they lived. Even at the young age of 20, this kid made some impact on so many people, and for the right reasons.
Yep.
So what does Brandon Tatum know?
Nothing.
What does he agree with? What does he disagree with? And why? Let's get after it. Brandon Tatum, thank you for joining us again.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me back.
How has the reporting that you did in Mississippi and the interviews that you did, how has it been received?
It depends on what group of people you're referring to. I think that for rational people that, in my opinion, want to know the truth and they're open-minded, I think it was received very well. They got access to information that wasn't privy to the public. Obviously, law enforcement has this information already, but information that people who are interested in finding the truth wanted to hear from these young boys and their account, and they can make their decision from there. It was received very well. People are thankful, very thankful that I took the time to interview these young boys, and they got a little more clarity. When it comes to majority black community, some of the celebrities, D.L. Hughley and others, they absolutely hate me. They think I'm Satan, and they think that I hate my mama, who's black, just because I decided to interview people who asked me to interview them.
Correct.
And I don't know how people have conflated what I have done in this interview or in this process, but they have. And this is not abnormal. When you are black in America and you don't toe the line of where, quote unquote, the black community wants you to, then you're deemed an Uncle Tom, coon, sellout. You somehow hate your people, and you somehow working for the white man, which is furthest from the truth, man. I love everybody. I don't care nothing about race. It's pointless to think about race. I treat people based on their character, based on their integrity, based on what they present to me, and that's the end of the story.
Why do you think members of the black, I don't know, what do you want to call it, celebrity community, whatever it is, black people whose names we know, why do you think that they come at you that way? You think it's about your politics, or do you think that they are worried about something that you're not showing enough concern about in their estimation?
I
No,
want to hear
a
this.
lot of these people are ignorant. They're brainwashed and emotional.
Wow, straight up.
You guys know I'm always looking for simple things that can help me stay on.
And there's an opportunity would have interviewed me and just asked me. None of them are addressing actual things that I said and actual processes that I went through to interview. They do not care about the truth, or many of them would have interviewed me and just asked me what happened and what did I do. None of them, even those who claim to be journalists, did not give an opportunity to the other side for the other side to have a voice. They did not. And the reason
No
why is because
typing
they're
in all
white.
caps.
And a lot of them actually hate white people. And they act like they don't. Listen to their rhetoric. Listen to the things that they've said in the past. They hate white people internally. And so when
What?
a topic comes up like this and there's an opportunity to paint white people with a broad brush, they take advantage of it. And I've seen it over the years. I've seen it growing up. I used to hate white people when I was growing up. That's just a part of the culture. And unfortunately, it rears its ugly head as soon as one of these incidents happen. And you've seen it time and time again. Go look at the comment section. How does young men who we don't really have any evidence that committed a crime, how do they get painted as criminals? How do they get painted as being responsible for the death of a person that was considered their friend? If the roles were reversed, this would be maddening.
You know what it's like to confront racism. You know it on many different levels,
Wow.
right? You know it as a black man. You know it as a black athlete. You know it as a black cop.
Nah, he don't.
You know it as a black political advocate. You know it on a lot of levels.
Nah, he
When you
don't.
met these people, their families, what did that special or if unfortunate radar that you have built into you? What was your read on these people and the vibe in this community vis-a-vis Nolan Wells?
It was incredible. They were normal people. They seemed like great families. They seemed like they raised their children right. And the interesting thing, they had nothing but great things to say about Nolan. They all were very thankful for Nolan. They were all saddened. Even some of the parents
Oh
cried when we were talking
gosh.
about Nolan. They were very distraught that Nolan had passed away.
I
And
ain't seen one
they
tear
all
yet.
seemed like if you go to that side that I went and talked to the people on that side, they all seemed to love Nolan. This was a loss for everybody. And there was no racial animus. They all have black friends and everybody get along. Everybody that I talk to is like, no, the race is not a thing here. We all love everybody. Horn Island is full of a diverse group of people. We have a diverse friend group. All of these things is what is said on this side. Very welcoming. I do not think that's the case on the other side.
Why do there have to be sides, and how do you define the other side?
Yes.
Well, I don't think there should be sides, but these groups have, and I would argue that Nolan's parents and Benjamin Crump have taken a side. I said this on my live stream yesterday. I said this should have been a community effort. When your son goes missing,
What?
when Nolan's loss is a loss for everybody. It's a loss for his parents, his siblings, his family, his friends, his coach, his football team, the community at large. Everybody lost Nolan. The effort that I think should have been brought forward is that everybody should come together to find out what happened to Nolan. These parents should be talking to these parents about who saw this boy last and what happened. That was not the case because people interjected race into this. Immediately, Nolan Wells' side says they went out with white boys. Something must have happened. The justice system is flawed, inevitably, because once upon a time in Mississippi, there's racial things that had happened against black people. But in perpetuity, white people cannot be trusted, and everything must be a fraud because there's white people and my son is black.
This
That to
guy,
me
man.
destroyed the community
He's the worst.
and made it into a partisan thing or a separation thing versus a united front. And we can see that because people were telling me when I was out there interviewing people that people in the community are terrified. There's people that they think know more, but they're afraid to say anything. Because
What?
even if you didn't have nothing to do with Nolan's death, if you say, I saw him last, you could be painted as a suspect in a murder. And they will blast you and drag your name through the mud and threaten your life. You know, Chris, the young boy Tristan can't even
This
go to a store. He went to buy a Gatorade and he said, your money's not welcome here. Black people turned their backs on Tristan and he wasn't even really accused in this situation. And the boys warned them were somewhere else in another state. And people were screaming at them at a restaurant, kicked them out, said, say his name. What does that tell you? That tells you that the narrative has been set, that they did it. It's not an open-minded scenario. It's not a we want to know what happened. It's that they've painted these boys as they're criminals. And all the information that I have thus far, there is no indication whatsoever that they were even there when Nolan passed away. And I have seen video. I've seen all kinds of evidence. The police have interviewed these kids already. They've given their cell phones over to the FBI. I mean, they've, in my opinion, based on what they've shown me, they've done everything the right way.
Is it true that one of the young men you interviewed, not Trayston, who's a black kid, by the way, obviously black kid. It's not like he has to tell you that he's a black kid. Warren, is it true that he actually called Nolan's mother to tell her that Nolan was missing and that he was going to call the Coast Guard?
Yes, he showed me the phone record. We actually posted on our Instagram the phone record. He showed me in his phone where he called Miss Christine first. She didn't answer the first time. He had a second call, and I think that she was asleep. He had a second call with it where the duration of the call was about 5 to 8 minutes. He talked to her on the phone, and he told me during that call that he told her, "Hey, we haven't seen Nolan. Don't panic. You know, we think that he may be hanging out with friends or whatever, but just in case, is it okay if I call the Coast Guard?" So he told me he got permission from Christine, that Nolan's mom, that he could call the Coast Guard. Then he showed me the call log where immediately after that call, it couldn't have been a minute or two after the call, he calls the Coast Guard. And he also showed me that him and the rest of the boys got up the next morning, got on a boat, and went out looking for Nolan. He also told me that he told Christine, Nolan's mother, that he had Nolan's phone and keys. And so when that information is presented to me, it creates a conflict in the story where he's actually showing me evidence. I haven't been able to see any evidence from the other side.
Context. When did he call Christine? When did it become a concern to Warren and maybe other friends that they didn't know where Nolan was?
Well, he explained it thoroughly in the interview, but I'll like summate it real quick.
People should watch the interview. Brandon Tatum is a very well-known influencer. You know how to get to his page. The interviews are all there and accessible. But give us the short answer.
I think it was around 10 p.m. And the explanation that he gave me was that Nolan was hanging out with that girl, Katie. So they expected Nolan to be kicking it with her, hitch a ride back on somebody else's boat. They all plan to go to a central location to continue the party. But Nolan is not there. The girl that he was with shows up, but Nolan is not around. So he's now being concerned. He told me he thought Nolan may have been on somebody's couch or hanging out with somebody else. He said he didn't really know, but he'd rather be safe than sorry. So he said he wanted to call his mom before he called the Coast Guard. He wanted to call her first and get her permission, and that's what he explained to me. And like I said, he shared the text messages. I think it was like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. on the 4th.
How do you understand the leap from curiosity to such deep concern? Because, all right, so I thought you were with her. You're not there. So first thing I would do is go up to her and say, "Where's my boy?" Now, failing that, it's, well, I wonder where he is. Let's talk to other people who might know. Why go right to the Coast Guard?
Yeah, the way he explained it in the interview is that he'd rather be safe than sorry. He said they started getting information from that nobody knows where he's at, right? None of the friends that they came back with, it's like they don't have any contact with Nolan. He doesn't have his phone, so they can't call Nolan. They're contacting friends. They're asking the girl, Katie, which he showed me the text messages from Katie. I didn't want to publish them without actually talking to her, interviewing her to give her context.
Yeah, I know that was a concern of yours, that you wanted to talk to her because.
But I see her text message them asking her, when the last time you saw Nolan? Where is Nolan? Do you know who he's with? What did he get on another boat? They asking her all these questions. They're trying to find out, does anybody know where Nolan is at? And what he told me in the interview is that people, they drown out there. People die out there on that island. So there was a slight concern, but he did tell me that he thought Nolan may have been just couch surfing, hanging out with some girl or something of that nature, and may have not, wanted to respond the next day. But he said he did not want to. He better be safe than sorry because that's his friend. And he couldn't live with himself if something had happened and he never did anything.
From your read on the text, was Katie forthcoming and helpful?
Yeah, it appeared she was forthcoming. It appeared that she had gaps in her memory. Obviously, these kids out here having a good time, so I think she didn't remember everything as clear. But she did say a few things that I think gives some idea of whether the boys were telling the truth. Because you got to think, I'm looking at a text message where they don't know each other. Mm-hmm. And they're asking her questions, and she's giving them responses with somebody she don't know, and they don't know her, so it's not coerced. And she said that she heard them yell, Nolan get on the boat. She said Nolan did not get on the boat, and Nolan did not get on the boat he came in on, which would have been Wyatt's boat that was getting towed out. But then she goes on to say, she had a gap in her memory, and she don't know what happened to Nolan afterwards. She thought he was going to go with his friends, but he never did.
So he didn't stay and hang out with her, as far as you know.
As far as what she said, he didn't. Other people are saying, which they could be conflating her with another girl. I'm not sure, but people are saying closer to around 6, they saw him and another girl
Not
in the
her.
water. They don't know. They don't know if it's Katie or not. I don't think the people who saw him knew who he was with. But he was with a girl. I assumed that it was Katie, but Katie is saying she wasn't with him. So one or two things could be true. Either that was her, she either don't remember or she don't want to be the last person seen with him, or it was another person in altogether that nobody has been able to identify yet.
And again, context, this isn't just the two of them alone in a remote island. There were still a ton of people around.
When I look at pictures of that day, pictures that have been shared with us, pictures from people that did a flyover, it appeared that there was hundreds of people out there.
Right.
Now, there are pockets where there's boat clusters, and then there's areas where there's not
Good
clusters.
question,
So you could probably
Jonathan.
get to a spot where it's not as dense of a group of people. But from my understanding and what I've seen, it seemed like that place was packed with people. I mean, they told me it was thousands of people there, and there was hundreds of boats scattered throughout almost the 11 miles of the island. So there was tons of people. So in my estimation, they had been either close to other people, unless they snuck off in a place where they were a little more isolated. But my question that I still have is that I'm questioning, how did somebody not see what happened here? I think there's a possibility that things could have happened and nobody saw. That is a possibility. But with all those people out there, it makes me wonder, did somebody see something and they're afraid to say something?
Somebody, well, or have they said something to the authorities and they just don't want to keep saying it
Right.
because they don't want to become part of the mythology that's out there on social media. But, to paraphrase even the parents saying, somebody saw something. Unless he went to the island and ran away, and did something to, to conceal himself, whether he was with a girl or otherwise, somebody saw something, Brandon.
Yeah, I think at least somebody saw him alive last. Whether he dashed off, some things that they had made mention was that some people try to, they got to use the restroom. They'll kind of duck off away from people to try to go to the restroom, so they're not urinating in front of everybody, having a good time in the ocean. And so sometimes people do duck off and they go off, and it's a drop off. Like it's a part where you can walk, and then it drops 30 feet. So nobody knows what happened to him, but some of the things that people may consider is that could he have gone off to use the restroom or something, dropped in the water? From what the boys told me, there's a lot of music playing. People, it's loud. You can barely hear each other talk if you're in a cluster of boats because they're playing music loud. And it's like a party. And so there could have been a possibility that he snuck off, he drowns, nobody hears him because there's a lot of commotion, people are drunk, there's partying going on, or somebody could have done something to him. And this is what I will say. They interviewed 60 people. All of the boys that I talked to were forthcoming. They have communicated with law enforcement, and they haven't made an arrest yet. That leads me to believe that either this is inconclusive and they don't have enough evidence, or maybe nobody saw anything nefarious, but they may have saw, Nolan go out and drown. And I can't imagine that the information that they have is that Nolan drowned and they won't tell the public. I don't know why he would do that, but I can see it happening because they have to do due diligence and take it to a grand jury.
Yeah, I think that's the answer.
So,
I think the answer why is it didn't go well when they came out of the box with a statement.
Yeah.
The prosecutor took it over and said, I'm taking it to the grand jury, which is supposedly what she does. And that's a secret proceeding. And they want to give it all to the grand jury, let them make the determination. So I guess on the political side, she doesn't have to own it the same way, right? It's not her determination. It's not the prosecutor's determination. It's the grand jury's determination whether there's probable cause here or not. And then they can release the findings. I mean, that's probably the best reason why they're not saying anything in the interim.
And Chris, it's the most appropriate reason. It's just the public don't understand this. They will appreciate us after.
Now we don't
right?
understand.
During the situation, people are very upset because they don't have information. Some categorize it either through ignorance or because they're nefarious. They categorize this as somehow the police are hiding something. This is traditional status quo of what law enforcement does so they can be methodical and very clear and confident in their rulings and leave no stone unturned. Because if you begin to divulge information, you can mess up a case, and then therefore he'll never get justice, and then the family will be mad at them because they screwed over the case. And this is why they didn't release the autopsy. And this is the reason why I'm very frustrated with Benjamin Crump, because they should have never released the autopsy publicly. This is something that they should have done. I think they should have done it privately without notifying the world, because then everybody else that's potential suspects or somebody that want to be nefarious and hide things wouldn't even know what's going on. Therefore, they can strategically have a second opinion. And then if the state comes out and says something that's not true, they have their ace in the hole. And also, you don't want to put that out there to the public, because then you begin to describe elements of a crime, and therefore, if there's any pending suspects, they can overcome an interview by knowing what the cops know and don't know.
Also, that's why
and
y'all
you don't want to do
interview.
that. That can taint the investigation. I would have, if I was. Benjamin Crump is doing this to get highlight the case and to make money. As for the family, I would have suggested that they not make it public. Show the family Have
This
the
guy.
medical examiner explain it to the family, so they're very clear at what he did, why he did it, and why he didn't do it. I think it's incredible that he didn't even have a medical examiner explain it. He went out on his own, and he has no idea what he's even talking about.
Oh
He
my
can't even
God.
pronounce some of the words, and so that was convoluted in and of itself.
Well, the second autopsy was going to be compromised. They collected tissue, they collected and kept parts of the body, which is not unusual in an investigation. So anyone who looked at it second wasn't going to have the same access as the people who looked at it first, and there'd be further decomposition, harder to make a read on different things. So it was going to be highly inconclusive, no matter what. And there are competing agendas, Brandon. I mean, there's no reason to hide from it. You know, I'm watching clips of the mother on Don Lemon's show, and he's pushing on them that, hey, they're saying he was drunk. And they're like, no, no, no. He talked to one of his coaches. He wasn't a big drinker. They said he was fine at 2:45 or 3. This stuff about alcohol is just a distraction. I mean, they're competing agendas here.
No, I agree. I agree. And the unfortunate thing is that Nolan is not the center of the competing agendas in many cases. Nolan should be the center. We should be talking about and lifting up Nolan's success and everything about his life and celebrating Nolan. That's what we should be talking about. The investigation and all that other stuff that people got going on should be behind the scenes. And it really bothered me when Nolan's mother came out in that press conference. She said, and you got to think, she's, I believe, a nurse practitioner. She's
Keep
practicing in a place that's
attacking the
majority
mother.
white by choice. She lives in that area that's majority white. She sent Nolan to a majority white school. She could have gone anywhere. A nurse practitioner has license in the entire state of Mississippi. She could have practiced anywhere. She chose to do that. But then she get in a press conference and she says, I have to talk to my boys, all of my boys, about moving in certain spaces, especially with people that don't look like you. I think that's so
What?
incredibly ignorant, racist, and inappropriate to say. And then she goes on to say, giving I guess shout outs to mothers out there, and she go, especially my black mothers. I don't think that helps this. I don't think that's the way even Nolan lived his life. He was friendly with everybody. From what every account that I've heard, he was friendly with everybody.
No,
Now
I hear you, Brandon. But
imagine Chris if a white person
you know
says,
This
her
guy.
perspective. Yeah, well, but a white person's in the majority.
no, but
They don't have to worry about being targeted the same way. I'm not
I
telling you
don't.
anything you don't know,
Yeah.
Brandon. What I'm saying is two things can be true. That wasn't Nolan's reality. That he lived his life in a different way. He was accepted in a different way that betrays the idea that his mother's putting out. But the idea that black parents have to talk to their kids
It's
about
false.
how to be around people
It's
and how
false.
to deal with cops. But
Chris,
there's a
Chris is
reason for the
false.
paranoia.
No, Chris,
Oh my
I
God.
wish that I can teach a master class to parents. Stop interjecting.
Don't tell me that Chris Cuomo, of all people, is talking, got more sense than this guy. This must be sun on a thunder day or something. This is crazy.
Projecting things into your children's minds that do not exist in their reality. You don't have to have some spooky conversation with your kids because you're black. Every parent should tell their children how to behave around police officers. In many of these black communities, the cops are also black. So
Wait a minute. So you separating race from police? It is because of the police, and no matter the race, that there's the reason for the talk. This guy's really scum, and I see why y'all love him in the chat. I see why y'all love this guy. He just gives y'all gas and glory, don't he?
it's not a black white thing. Also in
It's a black
communities,
blue thing, they would say.
but
That you
they're
guys
not
put on
being.
the uniform, you're just as bad as the white ones.
Yeah, but see, that's also a
Exactly.
mythical thing that they teach to brainwash their own children to end up hating somebody that don't hate them in return. That's why when you look online and you see all these confrontations and police interactions, it's because people have told them the white man hates you. They treat you differently, and they're not giving people an opportunity to have their own independent experience. And for instance of what we're talking about now, why would you tell your black kids anything different than you would tell anybody white? Let me explain why. People are people, Chris. You know this. We've been around a lot of people. There are ignorant black people, and there are great black people.
You know what's funny about him? He didn't say that uh when what's his name? Nick Fuentes was going in on him and calling him the N-word and this, that. He was sure screaming racism then. He was screaming hella racism then. Now all of a sudden it ain't no racism. He's a buster.
Ignorant white people and great white people. Ignorant in every category you look at. So the mission is not, I need to tell you how to act around white people. I need to tell you how to act, how you should conduct yourself, and how you should act around people who behave like this. It's not a white or black thing, it's a behavioral thing. And now, more so than our ancestors, class is a bigger determining factor of how people treat you versus race. And for people to dumb down and just think about race in terms of, I need to have these special conversations, I don't think that helps your kids. I have black kids. I don't tell my kids, you got to watch out around white people because history shows that you, no.
What? I cannot believe what I'm hearing, y'all. This guy goes, he puts the cape on for them folks. Like, he's super coon. He's super Sambo. This guy is relentless. Let him tell it. Just a colorblind society, everybody's milquetoast. This guy is insane. He needs to be studied. There's a level of cooning, and I think like he's like the super saiyan of cooning. I thought Jesse Lee Peterson was bad. I thought Candace Owens was bad. But this nigga right here, oh my God.
You conduct yourself responsibly. You carry yourself with respect. You treat everybody with respect and dignity. And if somebody treats you wrong, I don't care if they're black, white, or any other color, that's a person that you do not deal with. You treat everybody fair.
That's cool.
You give everybody a fair opportunity, no matter what they look like. I find that if you do that and you act like that in your regular life, you will see less conflict with people. But if you're going out and all in your mind is that white people hate you, let me tell you this, Chris. I grew up like this. This is how I know it's a bad.
You did not grow up like that. This is a lie. Y'all want to hear some lies? You grew up loving them folks, wanting to be them folks, married them folks, had half of them folks. You're lying. I'd love to see some old Brandon, white people hating Brandon Tatum. I would love it. You know what? It does not exist. You're lying, my friend.
Bad thing to teach your kids. I hated white people growing up. I grew up in an era where my grandmother had to drink out of a separate water fountain. And so when you have generational trauma passed down through generations to younger people that don't live in the same reality, you begin to embody that stuff and it's not true anymore. And so
it's called pattern recognition, you fool. What are you talking about? See, I understand why somebody was like, I can't watch this no more. But see, we got to see what's going on the other side. His job is to grand gaslight. You don't know nothing. You ain't experience nothing. You don't feel nothing. Everything you perceive is wrong. It is wrong. I tell you, it is wrong. Why? Because fake ass, I'm not an officer. No more. Tatum said so. Boy, if you don't get your goof ass out of here.
I hated white people. I never was around white people that often. I grew up in an all black neighborhood. It wasn't until I went to college that I realized, oh crap, I've been living this hatred for no reason. And then I became a cop and I realized cops aren't racist like they say they are. Like cops are the least racist people, in my opinion.
You became a cop because you wanted to be a part of the in group. And you was the one that let them say the N-word around. They put the bananas in your locker. They hung the noose up in your locker and you didn't say nothing, you little buster. You're that type of buster, I can tell.
And I can go on I can write a whole book about that.
But you would get a lot of disagreement.
But there's no.
That's what the mother is speaking to. I mean, I can't tell you how many black people I've had in interviews where they've said, look, my kid had a rough time. I had a rough time. The cops treat us different. They stop us sooner. They frisk us before they frisk other people. Chris, and you have to be careful. Otherwise, they're going to hurt you.
But Chris, they don't know how cops treat other people. Now,
what are you? What? That's what I'm saying. It's always you don't know something. It's always you don't got a clue. He got all the answers. All the answers he got. You don't know nothing. Yeah, the level of denial, the level of cognitive dissonance. It's really insane. But you gotta kind of grin and bear it, and you gotta kind of see what the propaganda out here is and what the argument for the other side is. Knowing is half the battle, said G.I. Joe. Remember? So I'm sure we trying to know something.
They get stopped and they feel like they were harassed. But you don't know, are cops harassing other people on the other side of town? You would know. How do cops treat white people? Well, if you're not white, you would know. You just assume they don't treat white people a certain way. What I have learned being a cop and knowing a whole bunch.
You know what? He lying. I know how they treat him. They run away from him when it's crime time. They don't. They plead and beg for them to put the strap down and ultimately get unalive because they given all the passes, all the benefits of every doubt that there ever was to give. That's why. What are you talking about? It's them folks that take out most of the cops because they giving them pass after pass. Let them grab for their pistols and everything. What are you talking about, Officer Tatum, sir? This is ridiculous. What you talking about? I'm trying to understand something different, compadre, because that ain't even it, dog. Do y'all hear this garbage? Oh man, this is I ain't know it was gonna be this bad. But all right, come on, let's go.
Bunch of cops all over the country. Cops are the least racist people in the country, especially in black neighborhoods. And I'll explain to you why.
This guy.
People that don't live in the black neighborhood or are not around black people, they'll have an image of black people based on hip hop music, based on crime, based on whatever bias that they have without ever being exposed. Cops are exposed to good black people. They're exposed to black people who are criminals. They have to take the calls for service of people who are raped, who are abused, who are hurt, who are disenfranchised. And then they also take the calls of people who they are putting behind bars that are harming the black community. So cops get a vast perspective of what black people are in reality, not in perception. And then also, we deal with so many people that we cannot pick and choose a race to be biased against because
oh my God. First of all, I was finna hit on the fact that he talking about we. Ninja, you ain't no cop no more. You just play a cop on YouTube, dog. You ain't even a cop no more. And this boy got more excuses than somebody going to jail on why them folks is infallible. Like, oh my God. Can YT mommy and daddy ever do anything wrong? Not in race Batum Tatum's eyes, boy. Boy, you better not say nothing about white mom and daddy now. They don't seize no colors. They don't do's no harms. There's some good YT folks now. And y'all's out here stirring up that troubles. Coming to the towns. See, they will want to tell us. They want to tell us what's going on. But they scared. Because y'all came rustling up that troubles. This dude might as well put on some damn tap dancing shoes and break out into the Donald Duck dance. The Daffy Duck dance. Put the shoes on, my guy. Play the whole damn part. You might as well. Cuz he might as well come out and say, Mammy. He might as well. Cuz, man, he might as well just jump right on out the box, man. Like, the cat's out the bag with Cuz. This is insane. But y'all gotta hear it though. We gotta hear it though. Come on, let's chug through it.
Because anybody can kill us at any time. Ain't nobody looking at white people can kill us just as much as black people can. And when you're in a black community, and people don't understand this, I have to put my life on the line for black people. And so do my white officers. So if you somehow don't like black people, you're gonna have to get over that.
Why is he steady talking in the present? Nigga, you online, you gotta put your life on the line? What are you talking about, my guy? You see that sleight of hand, double tongue talk he do? Trying to lend his credibility as some type of officer, and you're not?
Quickly, because when they call and you get shot or your brothers and sisters get killed over this, because you're protecting a black person, you're gonna get out of that racial mentality. Now, let me clear this. I'm not saying no cop is racist. There are gotta be racist cops on every side. Black people that don't like white people in policing. There's that. What I have noticed, Chris, in policing, that is less about race and more about ignorance of culture.
Boy,
It's about ignorance of black culture when you don't live in black culture and you're a white cop that's not exposed to it as often. So therefore, I can see how some of my white cops that I work with will go around a black couple or in a situation and they yelling and being animated. And the white cop didn't get raised in an environment like that. So they think, hey, man, why you guys getting amped up? And I'm like, black people just animated like this. They it's cool. And those things happen more so than racism. And another.
Now, I hate when people sprinkle, a bit of truth in there. But it's because he sprinkled that bit of truth in there. He know damn well what he's doing and what he's saying, and he's like super intentional with it because he tried to throw a little in there for the credibility since he says so much other gaffes and goofs, right? And then he just throw that one little piece in there because that's true. Like, they don't understand culture. They don't understand, passion and conversation and not being aggressive. Just being passionate about what you're talking about. You see? See, I hate when they sprinkle a little bit of the in there. You know what I'm saying? But there's more.
Another thing. Bad cops are bad to everybody. I work with bad cops. They do not go to the black people and be rude to them and then they're nice to this person.
You're lying. He's lying. Now he's caping for bad cops. This guy's on a roll.
A rude, disrespectful, terrible cop is terrible to other cops, and they're terrible to people on the street, everybody. And I've worked with them, and everybody hates those guys and gals. The one I'm talking about was a girl.
Don't do nothing.
Everybody
about
hates them. But if you're not a police officer, generally speaking, you don't understand what we go through.
There you go. You don't. Man, we don't understand nothing, Officer Tatum. Obviously, we don't understand nothing.
On the back end, you just see what they promote in the media, and so anyway, I don't want to dominate the conversation, but that's kind of my thoughts.
The conversation is about you and your perspective, so it's okay, Brandon. And look, this is one of the benefits of a podcast. Is
no, y'all platforming this bastard, and it's sad. Because he's doing a lot of rambling and a mega crap ton of pandering.
Is this a digression? Of course it is, but it's contextually related. No, and it's part of the overlay of what this is about. And, it's important for you to get your perspective out on it, especially not just as a black man, but as a black former police officer. So I appreciate you offering it up. And people can agree or disagree, and that's all well and good. More germane to it, I want to play a clip of your interview with Trayston. Rose, if you're listening to me, because the mother and father had a reaction to him that I thought was very interesting. And I wanted your take on the context and their reaction to it. Elmore, you heard that kid Trace in the interview say that he was friends with Nolan and that you guys would know him. Do you know him? Do you recognize him?
No, I don't. Just because you park your vehicle in someone's yard doesn't mean that they have to know you.
Right.
Sounds more to me like he's more focused on getting people to know him and getting away from the fact that his so-called best friend is not here anymore. Everyone that they may have interviewed are at home. Our son isn't. Our son should be in college right now. We should be receiving phone calls from him about how his day went.
Yeah.
But we can't. And we just want everybody to focus on what the real subject matter is.
How did that strike you based on what you understand from Trayston?
It was confusing to me, right? Because you got to think, I don't know none of these people. Trayston goes on television, ABC or one of these news networks. Before I ever met Trayston, he was like one of the first people to speak out. And Trayston is telling me that he's friends with Javon too, or Javon. He's telling me all of them are friends. And they all are really close, and they all hang out with Nolan, and everybody's saying they're Nolan's best friend, right? So then Tristan explains to me, I go over his house all the time. He literally started tearing up in his eyes. Now, he could be telling me a flat lie, but he showed me pictures. He showed me pictures of him and Nolan at prom. He showed me multiple pictures of him and Nolan hanging out. He started to tear up when he told me before the interview and during the interview. He was like, that hurt. That she said she wouldn't even know me. He didn't just say he posted. Now, he could be, like I said, I don't know who's telling the truth or not. I wasn't there. He didn't say he just parked his car in Nolan's yard once. He said he parked his car in Nolan's yard a few times. He also said he spent the night over Nolan's house multiple times. He told me that him and Nolan, he said Nolan was his best friend. Now, you got to think, Chris, he's not implicated in this. Mm-hmm. Only the white kids, right? They left the black kids out. Javon, even though Javon had his story of being with Nolan and all that, nobody cares about his story. Even though Javon left his phone on a boat with Nolan's phone, when the boat left and they had to come back and get his and Nolan's phone, nobody talking about him because he's black. But Tristan is telling me, I used to take him to school. We used to get rides together. His dad used to come pick us up and do these things. And he seemed visibly emotionally upset about them saying they didn't know him. Now, that's my conflict. I don't know who. Nolan is not alive to tell us, but I find it more believable on his side than their side. And I'm gonna tell you why. It wasn't until I think that Tristan distanced himself from the racial component in this situation that all of a sudden he's no longer even associated with Nolan. And I can't, it's very hard for me he tells me the class that they met each other in. I just don't see him lying. I just don't see him lying about it. I can see parents, and let me give the parents a side. If you're not very in tune with your kids,
oh wow,
you may not know who their friends are. You don't think they're friends. You don't engage with them. They don't come to your house often. But to Nolan, when he's not at home, he's engaging with these young people and he's very friendly with them. I find it also interesting that the parents act like Warren and them weren't his friends. And Warren and his parents are like, let me tell you this, Chris. Nolan's mother went to school with Warren's stepmother. They went to school together. She have all these pictures in the yearbook and all her classes. They went to school together. So they knew each other to a certain degree. And the mom is saying she don't know any of these people. And the parents, when I met them, they were all emotional about Nolan. And they said, Nolan he's over our house all the time. We love Nolan. I mean, they cried. One of the mothers cried when she talked about Nolan. And so it's kind of interesting that like all the parents are saying that they love Nolan and he's always there and they vouch for his character. And they have pictures with Nolan everywhere. Nolan spent the night at their house and Nolan went out to Horn Island with them for the second year in a row.
Well, look, here's one thing we know for sure, and you mentioned this earlier. This was a good kid. You got to give credit to his parents. You got to give credit to his extended family, his teachers. They had a good one here. This kid had good grades. He was a college athlete, and everybody, not just because he's dead, because there could be people who just wouldn't say anything or would say it differently, right? I mean, you and I have both seen plenty of situations where a young person dies and it's under curious circumstances, and they weren't a saint, and maybe they didn't deserve what happened to him either, but there's a mix. Not with this kid. No. Everybody unfailingly says, and you see it in the videos of him dancing with staff at the school and stuff like that. And, you know, people wanted to be around him. They liked him. This was a good kid.
This kid, and this is why it bothers me so much, because this kid was an exceptional human being. Like, I was tearing up multiple times talking to these boys. We went out to Horn Island on a boat. They were emotional in saying this was Nolan's favorite song. They played songs that Nolan loved going out on a boat to Horn Island. These boys were tearing up. They loved him. His parents, the boys that I'm talking about, I never met Nolan's parents. His parents cannot say enough about Nolan. They loved him. They said he was like a son to them. One of the boys' mom, Chris, presented a 70-page document to me where she said she's so obsessed with finding out what happened to Nolan. She went and talked to everybody in the city. I talked to this person on this day, and this is what they said. This person wasn't involved. This person did this timeline here, this, 70 pages. This is how much one of the boys' mother loved Nolan and wanted to find out what happened to him, that she is literally talking to everybody on planet Earth.
One other step sideways, and then I want to ask you about what your best sense is as former law enforcement and someone who was down there and someone who's working it, as to where we are and where we wind up. There was a fundraiser. Nolan's friends established a Give, Send, Go fundraiser titled Stand with Nolan Wells' Targeted Friends. The names offered were Warren Hudson, Jack Spatalo, and Morgan Seymour. What do they need a fundraiser for?
Yeah, because they're getting ready to get sued by the family. The family had established this the day that Nolan was put to rest at his funeral on that Monday. The family signed a document opening an estate in his name. Most people that I talked to about that said that that is what you do in preparation to sue for wrongful death. They are posturing up to sue the family, to sue these kids. And they sent the document to some of the families. I saw one of them that says that they need, in preparation of a lawsuit, that they need to retain text messages and all this other stuff that they have to retain and not delete in preparation of a lawsuit. Now, mind you, Chris, nobody knows what happened to Nolan. By all accounts.
Do you believe that, by the way?
That nobody, well, I'm saying we don't have any information that anybody knows. So I don't, nobody's told me and nobody's told anybody. Everybody's kind of speculating. Maybe law enforcement know, or they may not even know, right? People may not even talk to him about it. But we do know that he's dead, but we don't know what happened to him. And if a person is being honest and digesting all the information that's made available factually, it appears that these young men whom they accuse, whom is listed on GoFundMe, have Give, Send, Go.
Straight up, Don.
What's not there? Phone records, Life 360, boat records, GPS, all of that has them all leaving. All of them are gone. The 3 boats that came in with Nolan on one of the boats, that friend group were all gone except 3 people, including Nolan, were all gone at 4:30. People saw Nolan afterwards. So with that being said, why would you sue without knowing the conclusion of what happened? What if Nolan drowned? Why is your efforts having a civil rights attorney in a lawsuit pending or in preparation of a lawsuit if you don't even know if they had anything to do with it? And I just think that what happens with Benjamin Crump, this is my opinion based on a plethora of examples, and there are families that have reached out to me saying that he did him wrong. And I'll be trying to look into the validity of that. But like, he's coming in to do what? Not to get justice. That is a ploy. If you look at his track record, no one has gotten criminal justice. It's only financial payouts. He, hands up, don't shoot, Michael Brown. Michael Brown, they got a payout. Breonna Taylor was justifiably shot, according to the law and according to all the information I had. He represented them, and he was all at their funeral. The young kid that was killed by Zimmerman. Trayvon Martin, all of them. Payout.
And
no justice. He's not in it for justice. He's a civil rights attorney. So he goes into this, he raised the high profile, and then they raise as much money as they can, and then he's on to the next thing. I do not think he cares whatsoever about real justice. He should have never released that autopsy. He could have gave it to the family. He could have had them explain to the family so they know. But you go release it to the public is negligence. And there's a defense attorney saying because he released it, there's no way that nobody's going to prosecute anybody. You have an autopsy that said it's undetermined, and the defense attorney explained all this stuff in an interview that I saw, and I was like, that very well could be true. So regardless of that, I don't think that he is in it for the right reasons. And then he jumps over to Corey Ruiz, who was shot by police in Madison, that had an insane criminal record, that allegedly stabbed one of the officers when he was shot. Why is he jumping from there to here? You have the other young man he's supposed to be representing. None of them he's going to get criminal justice for. He's just going for the money, in my opinion.
Well, look, you're entitled to your opinion. What would be the...
But what are you doing it for? You taking interviews and chopping them up in the itty bitty pieces. You telling people to go to your chat and put in this, that, and the third, and I'll send it to you. You monetizing the hell out of this. You see the hypocrisy, y'all?
Defense of Ben Crump, that he gets exposure, gets attention, make sure that it's taken seriously, make sure that people are aware, and the only remedies are civil on his side. He's on the civil side.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not necessary. Like, for instance, like if you go back and look at this case, why would he be necessary in this case? When you have...
It seems like he was very necessary, because if not, it wouldn't have brought national attention to the case, and they would have been easily able to sweep it under the rug. I think that was the foil in the plan, and that's what y'all keep railing against, because that's why y'all doing lawsuits to get everybody to be quiet. It's all making sense. That him talking and the boys talking is not helping the case to anybody that has a half a brain.
Let me explain this, Chris. This is what we have here. And this is why I think he's looking at money and he's exploiting the pain of some of these families in order to get money, in my opinion. But this is what we have here. You have a young man who's loved by everybody that dies. You have the family of the boys that saw him last reaching out to his parents saying, let's talk. We want to talk to you. The lawyers reaching out saying, Benjamin Crump, let's talk. I reached out to Benjamin Crump before I ever heard from these kids. I reached out to Benjamin Crump. He don't want to talk to me.
He does not want to talk to you. He doesn't want to talk to you.
He definitely don't want to talk to me now. But I will talk to him if he wants to come on my show.
I know you won't. Sparks, good point. He doing all of that grifting and ain't even donated to their campaign or even haven't announced it publicly. No, that's because he's getting paid. Why would he give back money to his employer? You see what I'm saying? You understand where I'm going with that? Very good point. Why would he give money back to the people that's giving him money? Of course he ain't donate to their GoFundMe. He not trying to figure it out. He trying to milk it.
He doesn't want to talk to you. You trash him all the time. He's not going to talk to you.
And they trashed me. They said, I'm not worthy of getting a platform, which is fine because I stand by what I say and we can have a conversation. Just say if we were on your show and he was on here, I'd say I'll agree to come on with him being on the show. He wouldn't. But anyway, but they don't go and talk to Warren's family. They don't go and get information. They don't go and ask, did you delete the phone? They don't go and do any of the due diligence to find out what happened from the side that were cooperating with them in the beginning. Immediately, they go to a civil rights attorney. He immediately shut down communication with anybody on the other side. None of this had to be the case, Chris. Like, Trayston wanted to talk to the family. Trayston would have told them. That was me in the video arguing. That was not Nolan. Nolan's coach came out and said, I knew it wasn't Nolan immediately because I heard his voice and I know Nolan's voice, that wasn't his voice. Why would the parents and Benjamin Crump push that out to the media? This phone call. Now, Benjamin Crump is not standing by this phone call.
What phone call?
He's not standing by the translation.
The CETO, just give people context.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, the CETO
So
call.
one of the kids, I think it was Warren, right, makes a phone call to CETO, says, my boat's taking on water. Wyatt, sorry. Wyatt makes the phone call. He sounds calm. Well, if his boat was sinking, why was he calm? As a boater, okay, there's taking on water and there's sinking. They're different things. These guys party a lot. They know the boat well. They had a lot of people sitting on the boat. He is calm because he was calm. And it becomes very relevant in one moment. And he's talking to CETO. He says, I have an account. Why? Because CETO is going to charge you different. And they're going to come at a different rate based on whether or not you have an account and what level the account is than if you're just calling. Believe me, I know this. So, no offense to CETO, I'm a member. He is very calm, okay? Now comes this sweetened version of the audio. And a woman makes the case, and she sounds very well versed in audio editing. She did this, she did that, she did this, she did that. And then, with an adjoining transcript, there seems to be a background conversation that is of a completely different tone and tenor than the phone call from Wyatt. Wyatt, as I said, that's how he is. In the background, there seems to be a conversation, according to the transcript, yelling at this guy, Bart, and what happened to Nolan and what's going on. Nolan, wake up, and this and that. It sounds like someone's dead or dying on the boat with them. And it has gone all over the place. It has gone viral. That is the audio that we're talking about. Counsel Russ Latino for Bart Ermiston Jr., who is the Bart, who got on the boat to help him with the draining and towed them to let water come out of the boat. And then they were okay and they canceled the CETO call. That Bart, who was seen by people on both sides, says no conversation like that took place. Nolan Wells was not on that boat. And he had nothing to do with anything that happened to Nolan Wells, though he knew him and liked him.
Yeah, and Chris, I can add more. I saw the video of them on the boat during the phone call. Now, I presented it in part. It's the one that you see all over TMZ, all over the news. Mm-hmm. It has Officer Tatum on it, and you see a quick glimpse of that boat. Well, I have the full video. And the only reason that I don't want to put the video out and the lawyers are against it because there's other people that's not involved in this that are featured on the video.
Was Nolan Wells on the boat?
No, he's not on the boat. And the pen, let me tell you, it's interesting, right? These kids, this is my perception from what I see on the boat. They're having a good time. I would argue that some of them are having such a good time that half of the people are concerned and half of the people don't know what's going on. There's two boats. There's the boat that Bart is running to tow, and there's the boat that Warren and them are on.
It's four
and
boats.
Some people are having such a good time that they are like joking about it. They're not even thinking is happening. And then you have, Warren's side or Wyatt's side where I can see Wyatt on the phone talking to Cito. Nolan is nowhere to be found. No activity is really going on the other boat.
So you don't see any corresponding activity that would suggest the urgency and the dialogue that is in the transcript of the sweetened audio.
No, there's a girl on that boat that's yelling because she's having a good time and she's screaming and she's talking loud and whatever. And I don't know if that translated to the phone call because she's on the opposite boat. And at one point in the video, the boats are together like this. Because people are trying to get on this boat to the other.
Why is he explaining this and they're not explaining it in his little interviews? Doesn't that seem suspicious?
The boat and do all that. And they're all having a good time, if you know what I'm saying. They had a good time out there. So
there is no sign of distress?
No.
There is no kind of frantic or yelling or controversy?
No, it's what the yelling that I hear on the video is people seem to have a good time and they're yelling and saying all kind of crazy. They're laughing and
that is the moment that he is calling Cito and being towed.
It has to be some portion of it. The video that I saw I think it was a Snapchat that somebody had taken, or they recorded somebody's Snapchat or something like that, and it's only like 36 seconds. But in this entire video, it pans from Bart's boat, it pans around, and there's some people's faces in there that are not involved at all, and so that's kind of why we didn't put it out without their permission. And then it pans over to Wyatt's boat, which is what I released, like a 3-second thing. It pans over to Wyatt's boat, and it comes back over to Bart's boat, so you can see 99%. You can see everybody that's on Wyatt's boat. You can see 99% of people that's on Bart's boat. Nobody's in distress. Some people are joking. They're like, "What's going on?" And you're like, so it's not even the pandemonium that people think it is. It's literally Wyatt is driving the thing on the phone like this. Some people are working on the boat like this, and then on Bart's boat, people are laughing and joking and saying, "I don't know, are they sinking? Are they sinking? This is crazy. I think they're sinking." That's the kind of environment. So it's not even a panic. And here's the thing. People mad at me because I say this as if I'm making this up. Like, we shared the video. The thing is that this is consistent with an account of 2 witnesses who spoke to police that said they saw Nolan on the island after this had already happened. So that confirms that what people are doing with this call is they're doing what we call confirmation bias. Now, this is why I disagree with the young lady, and I don't think she's professional at all in actually translating or doing whatever she claims she did with the audio. Any audio technician that wants to give a fair forensic explanation of what's really on the audio will never put a transcript on the audio. That leads to confirmation bias. If I promise you right now, Chris, if I did it, I almost had my team do it. Change out the words, put it out to the public, and when people see the words, they're going to hear what they think they saw.
There is a power of suggestion that goes to that, and that's why they have the sweetening experts, and then they have the dialogue experts.
Yeah, you can't.
It is interesting that I have not heard the family, or specifically Benjamin Crump as counsel, put out this call as proof of anything.
And let me tell you this: they not only didn't put it out as proof. Benjamin Crump on an interview, I forget the Black Vlog interview he just did recently. I think his most recent interview. He said, we're going to get our own experts to do this, which means that he did not validate or he did not think.
A lot of people went with that audio, though. A lot of people with big platforms.
I know they did, and they were wrong. And I'm going to tell you this, Chris, I'm being honest. Some people did it because they actually believed it, because they have no experience in investigations. They don't critically think of it.
Here y'all go, y'all. Y'all don't know what y'all heard. Your ears were wrong. You didn't hear what you hear. He's so good for that.
About these things because they're not seeing that people can manipulate on such a scale. There are others that have ran with it because it's lucrative. If I go and put out Toe shows everything, Nolan Wells was dead on a boat, and I push it, I'm gonna get millions of views. And some people are like, I'd rather get the views knowing that I'm absolved of any responsibility because it's not my video. So I'm gonna push it until I can get enough of it. And then I'm gonna move on to something else and go, wow, we were lied to. That's crazy. It's like, no, a responsible investigator or a person that's doing due diligence will say, let me make sure that's what.
Hey, this video, I'm telling y'all, mark my words, this video ain't gonna end well for him. This exact thing that he's saying right now, I think, y'all, and I'm gonna make the prediction right now, I think this exact case of situation is gonna blow Cuz out the water. He did all this caping and pandering for them folks. Ooh-wee. I think this might be it for him. It just seems too ironic, like clandestine, like the super duper karma.
But that says, before I am caught pushing a audio that's saying that Nolan is being killed or he's dead on a boat, which implicates, I don't know, 7 people. So when and Chris, I listened to the audio. I said, I don't have a dog in the fight, man. I mean, I'm spending all of my own money to do all of this stuff. I'm sitting here saying, I'm not gonna look like a fool. I spent years building my platform. I'm not finna put fake stuff on my stuff I'm not gonna put these boys on an interview and let them lie on my platform.
Or like you went on Nancy Grace and lied and said that they took a polygraph test, huh? Lie like that? See, that's why I can't take this guy seriously, because he will lie to you with a straight dog-ass face like he's telling the gospel of Jesus Mirandez.
Platform, and then coming out, they killed him. My family got to eat at the end of the day. I'm not gonna let them ruin my platform. So, but with all that being said, you know, I look at it and I listen to it and I said, listen, Brandon, see if you hear any of that, because this could be a lead. I don't hear that. Unless I'm reading a transcript, I don't hear that whatsoever. So at my investigatory skills and my training is like, hold off until you have an expert or you have something forensically done to that audio that will prove what it says in an unbiased way.
And also, look, there's so many witnesses there. If Nolan was on that boat and something was done to him, there's no way. You're right about reticence of wanting to come forward, especially once the media circus started. But there's no way investigators don't have that.
Oh,
no
100%.
way.
Here's the thing.
And this is another thing y'all got to think about with these types, man. That dude is heavily invested in this character, right? Like, this is to the core of who he actually is. You can't spit and rattle that stuff off like that and come up with it on the spot if you don't truly, and it makes me wonder, like, what happened to him? What is his villain origin story? What happened to Cuz to make him Super Coon 2000? What the hell?
I think that Nolan's parents and Benjamin Crump pushed in the beginning, which I think caused all this. Why wouldn't they just be honest and tell that law enforcement had spoke to 60 witnesses right when Nolan had died, 3 weeks before this? They acted as if the boys weren't cooperating. She said they pushed it out there that they lawyered up immediately. No, Warren is the only one that got a lawyer because his stepmom's a judge, and she's smart enough to not let her kid go into the lion's den with no representation, which every parent, responsible parent who has the means to, will make sure your kid has a lawyer no matter what. The other boys didn't have a lawyer. They went and talked to police and did a computer voice stress analysis with no representation.
And I don't know if I said this to you last time. I definitely said it about your interview. I don't know if I said it to you. But no chance my son or daughter goes to the police alone to talk to them. I don't know if we discussed this. And I'm not saying, look, I'm not anti-cop. I work with first responders all the time. They get my respect, okay? But no way. No way. When you're looking to make a case, people have to be represented if they're going to talk to you. And I don't care if he did nothing wrong. I don't even care if he wasn't there. It's better if you can afford counsel to have it.
Listen, Chris, this is why we have Miranda rights, right? This is a right.
Yeah, but that's only when they're taking you into custody. They can come in, let's just come talk to me, and before you know it,
Well, here's the thing. If you interview a person and they are not free to leave, and you have not made clear, or you have not read the Miranda rights, then you don't have a right to talk to them whatsoever.
That's right.
When we bring a person in because we have an investigatory reason to talk to them, meaning that, like if you listen to it, your statements can be used against you in the court of law. So voluntarily coming into the police station is not automatic that it's all very clear that you can leave.
Right.
Once we get you in the interrogation room, are you under the impression that you can just walk out of this at any time? And are you aware that whatever statements that you give to me can be used against you in the court of law? This is not off the record. So
having a lawyer is not necessarily reason for suspicion.
I'm a police advocate, and you better never talk to a police officer without representation in a situation like this.
Yeah, I totally get it. I get it, but I get the family's suspicion. I get the family being triggered. I get the family being heartbroken and desperate and upset. I mean, it all makes sense. All the feels make sense.
It makes sense until you hear the other side, and then it starts to become questionable. Because the thing is that why didn't they talk to Warren them about this before they ever went public? Why didn't they just talk to him? Why didn't they talk to Tristan? Why didn't they talk to them?
I don't know, but I could understand being so overwhelmed and immediately concerned that something bad happened to him. Who knows? Maybe somebody said something to them that made them suspicious. But, in that kind of state, it's not like they're acting by their best lights. You know what I mean? They're in the most pain imaginable to a parent.
I agree to that. I consent to that. I think that is a fair statement. I don't know what I would do in that situation. I think I know what I would do, right? In my opinion, but I have a former police officer background, right? I mean, I'm a former police officer. So I'm talking to because I know y'all may have talked to the police, but I'm not going to know what you said to the police. If you guys are willing to talk to me, let's come together. Let's talk. What do you know? Who saw him last? What was he drunk? Was he drinking? We need to talk. Who else? Whose number you got? I need to talk to them. I want to talk to them.
He can't believe the level of cooning this man is on. Even Chris Cuomo cannot believe the level of Super Saiyan coonosity that this man has arisen to. This man got the glow of cooning.
What's your take on that, Brandon? There's this division now. I got hit with this a little bit. I don't even understand why I got hit with it, but that's a different story. I'm not saying that Nolan Wells was a known alcoholic who was, fall down drunk that day. I've just reported what has been said on your interviews and others, that he was there partying with everybody else and that he was known to drink. So it's not like he didn't drink, and he was partying with people. And now, again, I saw on the platform with a mother saying, oh, that's not true. That's being said about him. I mean, what's your understanding of this?
Here's one of those other things where can I trust, not in a nefarious way, but can I trust what mom is saying? Because mama is contending with her son's reputation too. Now, anybody with
which is stellar, by the way. I haven't heard a bad word about the kid.
The kid was, I don't want to say a god, but he was a mini god. Like nobody has anything bad said. No one. Matter of fact, his parents, I floated an idea when I was talking to them, like, could it be possible that he was doing something like this and it was something potentially criminal? One of the parents almost screamed at me at the idea of never would Nolan do anything like that. Nolan was a perfect kid. I mean, I'm telling you, even the other parents are defending Nolan. But anyway, the whole thing about drinking, Chris, come on, man. We know you're not going to Horn Island at 18, 19, 20, and you're not having a good time. There's a video out right now. We posted it. It's all over the internet. They pan the thing.
Oh my God.
You see Nolan in the water. You see everybody with drinks in their hand. You see another kid passing out drinks. There is no way that Nolan is not having a drink. And there are accounts that people told me that Nolan had a lot of drinks. Now, Warren said when he saw Nolan at 3, Nolan seems to be fine. People that saw Nolan after 3 said that he had been drinking. Now, nobody really knows what's the contributing factor because you don't really know. You could be drinking a lot and you could be getting woozy from exhaustion. Because, Chris, I went out there for an hour and a half. I think I was at Horn Island. My arms are peeling now because I got sunburn. I went to take a nap. This is the sun just beaming on me, and I wasn't even drinking or nothing. I wasn't even in the water. I jumped in the water to get to the island and jumped in the water to get back on the boat. I mean, it was like a 20, 30-minute boat ride. And, man, I wanted to go take a nap. Imagine being out there for 6 hours and drinking.
Not hydrating, drinking booze.
You're just drinking beer and stuff.
Listen, I get it. I mean, I just thought it was interesting that,
But people, Chris, people have – this is becoming more than it ever should have been because it reveals the internal racism that black people have. And I'm not saying anybody else is racist. I'm just speaking from black people. Every time remember the Carmelo thing? Mm-hmm. You had people saying they were glad that white boy got killed. People made rumors and lied all about this kid's character and they defamed him and everything. Then you go to trial and Carmelo Anthony was guilty. He was sentenced. It was clearly a disproportionate use of what he would consider self-defense. It wasn't right. He was wrong. He stabbed him. He admitted to stabbing him. You had an entire wave of the black community that if you decided you were going to say something about Austin Metcalf that was positive, if you were to come out and say that Carmelo Anthony was wrong, you got lectured. They called you every name in the book. And look at what happened in the case. I knew what happened because I'm a cop and I know what the laws are. This case is very similar. If you don't say that—
You see how he tried to slip that I'm a cop and I know what the laws are? You were a cop.
If these white boys did something wrong, and I almost would challenge you, Chris, to try this, but I don't want you to try it because, it can become ugly. But I almost want you to say, I don't think they did it. And watch your voicemails and watch your Instagram messages. You're going to get your life threatened. I just played like 3 calls that Ben Hudson got. Dudes were saying, we're going to kill you. We're going to come kill your kid. We're going to catch y'all out. He gave $50,000 towards finding out what happened to Nolan. It's a racial thing. And in our country, is completely divided on these topics every single time, and it's because these race hustling activists they come out and interject race. Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf had nothing to do with race. It's a young man making a poor decision that ruined his life. No race is involved in this, man. We don't have any reason to believe any one of these boys had a racial.
Well, I agree with that. We don't have any reason to believe right now in what's going on with Nolan Wells. We have no reason to believe.
But Chris, why do they bring it up? Why would they bring it up?
I mean, they know why they bring it up, because it was that initial picture is one black guy and a bunch of white guys, and it seemed like 5 guys went out, 4 guys came back, and it's the black guy. But that's the not initial image. Right, I know it's not accurate, but that was the image.
Right, and that image in some people's minds, who are
and it's Mississippi.
Right. But see, but it's they have a race. They live life through a racist lens. I see a picture saying these boys went out. One boy did not come back. These boys may have done something they shouldn't have done. They made a mistake, and they're wrong. They should go to prison if they have done something to this boy. I don't think. Oh, it must be something because it's white boys and a black guy. We're past that here. If you're intelligent enough, you should be past that. In Mississippi, I'm telling you right now, Chris, they can't name another comparable case that they say a black person was done wrong in the last 10, 15 years. A comparable case. Where do they have a case of bias where they have a white kid that did this crime, a black kid that did this crime in equal circumstances, and it's a biased transaction? They don't have it.
But even if they don't, or even if they did, it doesn't change where we are with Nolan Wells.
Exactly.
We got to wait until this grand jury presents its findings.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that why there's no race involved in this at this point, but people are interjecting race because they're projecting what their own internal feelings are. I don't see white boys and Nolan and think racism. Just like I don't see black boys and a white boy and I think the black boys must have did something because they black. It's like, no, I know how kids are. These kids, they seem to be friends. They're on a picture together.
Listen, I get it. And look, I could disagree, but this is part of the weirdness of our culture with this construct of race that we made up in the first place, right? Because they cut you and me open. They're not going to know who's who. Okay. Right. I mean, genetically, we're going to be the same. You'll probably have a better set of genes. You know, you're a little bit better shape. You look like you're aging at a better rate. But it's weird for me as a white guy. I don't get to tell you whether it's racist or not. I don't get to do that. Why? Because you can say, wait a minute. I'm the black guy here. You don't get to tell me whether this is racist. I tell you whether it's racist.
See, Chris,
those are the rules.
But see, the rules have been created to make victimhood in perpetuity and oust any outside voice that contradicts what people are saying. I don't care if you white or black. You still got 2 eyes, and you should be able to see things for what they are. Black people cannot dominate the idea of racial bias.
This nigga got a motor coon mouth. This nigga got a goddamn V12 coon engine, naturally aspirated coon mouth. Like, this dude is on Grand Prix cooning. He is zooming around the coon corners at an alarming speed. He just don't miss. What the hell?
Like, it just doesn't work that way. Black people are very diverse and different. People grow up in different environments. All of us are not the same. All of us didn't grow up in the South. All of us haven't dealt with racism. So we cannot dominate the conversation and tell a white person, well, you can't say this. If we do, Chris, if we do,
booster.
Then black people can't say nothing about white people, right? Because that means that if you go, well, cops treat white people better than blacks. Oh, wait a minute. When were you white? You can't say what white people go through and what they don't go through. You can't speak on white people whatsoever. You can't say if white people are doing.
We never do. How does this dude always gear it towards, let me say something up. Let me speak up for white people. Now listen here now. It's my duty, my grand duty, to speak up for the white people. This guy at every turn. God darn it.
Doing this and that, you ain't been white, so keep your mouth shut. If black people want white people to shut their mouths on black issues, then they have to shut their mouths on white issues. They don't do that. They dominate every issue. They can come out right now and say the biggest threat to America is white people, and they can be right or wrong. That's their opinion. They can be a team owner.
What is these straw man arguments? These what if-isms? These pie in the skies. If you think you had a thought, then the thought you think ain't thinking right. Shut up. What is this nigga talking about, y'all? That's what you call trying to pour it on too thick with the cooning, boy. He's serving up a nothing burger combo with extra nothing sauce, with extra dipping, nothing cheese, on the fries with a light nothing drink diet. Nothing. He ain't talking about nothing. The hell?
And say, white people are the biggest threat to America. If you're white and you come out and say, black people are the biggest threat to America, what's going to happen to your job?
Well, one's a majority, one's a minority. You know the joke if a black man, raises his fist and says, I'm black and I'm proud. That's a strong black man. A white man lifts up his fist and says, I'm white and I'm proud. You got a Nazi. They're different.
We don't make the rules, Chris. Sounds like you feel some sort of kind of way about that, buddy. We don't make the rules, Chris. That's what YT Power stands for. Death, destruction, mayhem, injustice, things of that nature. Guess that's an L you gotta hold there, Chris, since you feel some sort of kind of way. He acting like Lynn do in that newscast where he want to say the N-word. Do you want to say the N-word, Chris? God. Let it all come out then.
Rules. The different rules for the majority and the minority.
You know what? We got to break those rules, Chris. And I'm not saying you got to be the first one.
No, why don't you say nigga with him? Why don't you do that? Since you rubbing his balls in every other little white ball you can find. Come on, man.
Right. So, but we got to break these rules.
If there's one thing I'm not afraid of, it's controversy.
But we got to break these rules, Chris. We are the new America. We got to stop capitulating to.
No, I am more protective of the minority than you are asking me to be as a black man.
Oh my God! Did he just not roast him on the low Libby Lily low side? Hold on, let me bring that back. Damn, did Cuomo have to get him?
We are the new America. We got to stop capitulating to ignorance.
I am more protective of the minority than you are asking me to be as a black man in America. But that's where we are. We can always have.
Oh my God! Did he laugh off your cooning in your face? Did he tell you on the low-ski woski, bro, you doing too much? Y'all know that's what that was, right? Y'all know that was the low-ski woski. Hey, bro, you doing too much, fam. You got up on this show and made an ass of yourself, bro. I can read the subtleties, the undertones. You know what I mean? You got to read between the lines. He just sat up there and told that man, you're doing way too much cooning, broski. Wow. Look at that goofy ass look on his face too. Like, yo, oh, cool. Hey, matter of fact, y'all, I found Officer Tatum Coon on some other shit. This is Officer Tatum Coon right here, y'all. That's Officer Tatum Coon right there, y'all. That's why my Facebook be lit. That's why y'all need to be over there. That's Super Coon Tatum right there, man. Save everything white. That's his duty. You understand what I'm saying? Just so y'all know, you know. But I'll keep going.
Have the conversation, and you and I will talk again. I'll come on your platform whenever you want, and you are welcome here. We haven't even talked politics yet, and Brandon and I have done 2 podcasts. We'll stay on Nolan Wells, of course, to its completion because Nolan deserves.
Shut up! I don't even want to hear the end of that shit. Yeah, I'm cool on that. I'm cool on all that. Oh, y'all like that that Super Coon Tatum? See, this is how you use AI right here. See, y'all ain't using AI right. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta use AI the right way. You understand what I'm talking about? Thank you, Chris. I try to give them the beeswax. You know what I'm saying? This how you use AI. You know what I'm talking about? You see what I'm saying? So look. I ain't even got a chance to get to the people speaking. First of all, just for shits and giggles, if y'all don't know who I am by now, I hold on. I got I got the perfect. Oh, that's crazy. It won't even let me play it. I mean, let me show it. That's crazy. That's crazy. Look. They messing with Petty P because there's no limit to the petty. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for the jewels, But they messing with Petty P. Kane, good looking. I see you over there. Make sure you subscribe and all that. Yeah, it's Petty P over here. You know what I'm saying? It's Petty P. You got to get with me, though. You know what I'm saying? Slaying them all in the comments and everything. You know what I'm saying? Listen. These hands is ambidextrous. I don't only get on the snow roaches. Oh no, I get on the coons too because the coons need to be ostracized as well. Like people like Brandon Tatum, he's one, right? You know what I'm saying? Like look, let me show you. I like to do stuff like this for the coons, for the Bojangles. It's a lot of Bojangles. Like when that Carmelo started and there was a certain crowd of individuals, you know what I'm saying? This how you use AI. You understand what I'm talking about? This how you do it. This is how you ridicule them coons. Them digital buck dancers is what I call them. I'm telling y'all, I'm a thought leader. You understand what I'm saying? It's lit over there on that J Lava Facebook. It's lit. It's lit over there. Like lit. I'm talking about I'm getting them all, y'all. It ain't only devils. I ain't even showed y'all the devils. Y'all want to see the devil collection? My core people know about the devil collection, but my real game is devastating over there. My real game is devastating over there. I'm telling you. It's going all the way down over there. So look, this is what I'm gonna do. If y'all, I see it's a lot of y'all over here on the. Oh, you want me to show y'all? She said, please show us. Okay, no problem. Well, I originally started off, you know what I'm saying, depicting these translucent snow dodgers as devils. I even made a song about it. It go like this. This is how the song go. Hold on, let me turn the music down because I can only play a little bit. Hold on. Let me turn the music down. So, like, this was my first intro to the devil. The reason why I call him a devil, because it says, family says man yell racial slurs and then got the body armor and came back with the AR style. So this was the dude that had ran up on the family family gathering and then said something out the window, went to the crib, got some body armor, came back and thought he was about to shoot the joint up, but it was an OG there with his pistol and bop took him on down. This is when I started to call people devil. This is when I started to utilize
some damn devils. It ain't no other way. FBA on code and we switching up the...
You know what I'm saying? So I made a AI song calling these folks devils, and then I made AI and made them transform to their natural form. You see what I'm saying? So then from there, you know what I'm saying, I branched out a little bit You know what I'm saying? And then the Carmelo thing came, and I was like, you know what? That boy Austin is a devil too. So I made Austin a devil. So that's like my second devil. I had to make sure he become one. And I was like, you know what? This devil thing is starting to take off. So then at that time there was the officer that shot little Cohen Wiley in the Walmart, right? Y'all remember him, the little officer that shot the little baby in the Walmart? I had to turn him into a devil too. I had to get him. And so then, the devil stuff progressed because, like, that's the dude that did the burning cross in Chicago, little Asian devil. I had to get him too. These hands is expert. This AI is ambidextrous. Then, all the Metcalfs is devils. Started with the father, going down to Austin and Hunter. Had to get them too. You know, you know what I'm talking about? Just had to just go ahead and throw them in there because they devils spawned. He spawned a couple devils that wouldn't be there right now if he would have kept his little hands to himself. But that's a different story. Then, um, the judge in the Carmelo Anthony case, this one it really all started to blow up, y'all. When I did the judge and Carmelo Anthony case, oh my God. Oh my God. They start coming out the woodworks. If I show y'all if y'all can see how many comments there is on this here reel, they in there, they get mad when they see this devil. You're gonna see them start coming out the woodworks in the chat because I'm exposing what they really look like. But I'm gonna carry on. So then, there's some more coons that I wanted to make fun of. There's Jason Whitlock. There's Anton Daniels. There's Charleston White. You know what I'm saying? On the chain. I try to make sure I make fun of everybody equally, so you can't just call me one thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I hand it out equally. You know what I'm saying? Moving right along. Um, Jake Lane. Oh yeah, the one that thought he wanted to have the little march. I got to get all the people that they hold near and dear. Yeah, he's definitely a devil. Had to get him too. Yep. Jake Lane, definitely a devil. That's the one that had the Negro March. That's the one that showed outside of BET. That's the one that got whooped on, and the little coon dude tried to protect him in Minnesota, I think. Moving right along. Um, then I started just going to regular everyday devils, like this uh Massachusetts state officer, that had text messages that leaked showing him not responding slowly to a crash because the victims was black. Yeah, I think that's devilish too. Yep, it's devilish. Yep. So I painted him as a devil as well, right? Moving right along. Um, then y'all remember Dylan Roof, the devil that went into the church and shut up the innocent black people while they was praying? Well, I got a twofer for this one. That's Dylan Roof in the middle, the devil. But on the outside is the judge devil, the one that said that Dylan Roof's family was victims just as well as the victims that died. Well, guess what? Just like the usual suspects, he pled guilty to possession and distribution of material depicting sexual abuse of babies. That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's him. Made him. Is that devil worthy? Touching on the shorties, is that devil worthy? I mean, you tell me. Moving right along. Your boy right here. He punched a black woman in the face multiple times at like a convenience store. The video was so brutal that I couldn't show it on Facebook. But yeah, I think he's a devil as well. Yeah. How about this guy? Rage-filled Georgia Trump supporter in custody. What did he do? Hold on. What did he do? He popped at his wife. And hold on. What did it say? Hold on real quick. It says He deleted his wife, and then and his daughter in the head, both of them. Deleted both of them, daughter and wife in the head. Is that devil worthy, guys? I mean, is that like, you know, characteristics of a devil? Okay, moving right along. I'm just saying, so y'all know why I'm getting up to these devils, okay? This guy, this is a Bethel police chief who resigned as he faces 70 counts of actual crime indictments. 70 counts as a police officer. Claremont County. Chad Ursick is his name. That's old Chad. Chad, the Bethel police chief, doing 70 counts of touchy-feely. Is that devil worthy? Okay. Rick Child. Had to put him on in there. You know Rick Child. We already know Rick Child, devil. Yep, had to slide him on up in there. Moving right along. Ooh. Uh-oh. Is that the head chief and devil himself? Is that the one that paid that lady for actual abuse and defamation? Like 5.8 million stacks? Millions? Look like he a Super Saiyan devil. AI did a number on him. Moving right along. So then we came to the Nolan Wells case. So y'all remember when the Mississippi Public Commissioner was talking about that we need to stop speculating early on in the Mississippi case? Well, guess what? He's a devil as well because he's working with them folks. So that's the Mississippi Public Commissioner. Then we got, Stacy Turner, the chief medical examiner, the one that's holding that throat back. She's a fire-breathing devil. Yes, indeed. Check her out, guys. Moving right along. Oh, just sprinkled in the middle of the Nolan case, we got a Waco attorney that was charged an alleged sexual assault of a child arrest again, allegedly violating his court order to stay away from cheering under 17. Is that devil worthy? Is that devil worthy? Yeah, they coming out the woodworks because it's exposure time. Oh, I had to get your boy. I had to get your Charizard. Reflex, you silly. Charizard. I had to get their boy Chud. He a devil with a tail. I had to get their boy Chud. The blunder. Chud the blunder. I had to get him. Moving right along. Uh-oh. The apple of their eye. This is when my joint blew up on the judge and Warren, but Katie right now is in the close running. Katie, the seductress, the reason why Nolan went to the island. Katie, the last one seen with Nolan Wells, so they say. Katie, got her, right? Eric, pizza face Eric, the one who I got some racist text from that I ain't even played yet. I got something about Eric, the dweeb friend of Nolan Wells. Eric, okay? The other dweeb friend that knows what happens to Nolan Wells, Mr. Bad Suit Wyatt, Mr. County Bell Blue, bow tie, awful sheep herding. I got a coat made of lambskin throats Wyatt. Okay? Which has actually been silent. And y'all notice how Wyatt ain't been in none of the interviews. Neither has, I'm going to get to him. Notice Wyatt ain't been in there, but I'm going to get to him. Right? Then you got Jax, the one that's in the new interview. The one that's sitting in the middle. looking like Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall and had a great fall face. Him. Remember Jax? Yeah, him. Dweeb number 2. Then you got the other dweeb that like stayed really silent in the whole interviews. Like he didn't even know how to talk right. Dweeb number 3, Morgan. Right? Right? Dweeb number 3. Yeah, this is how you use AI right here. Muna. Yeah. This is how it go. Right? So then let's move on. Oh, we got other demons in between. This is the guy that was approaching the one guy for walking down the street talking about he looked like he doing something. The Pennsylvania teen that was followed and handcuffed by the cop in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm sorry, Williamsport, Pennsylvania. You see what I'm saying? Then I threw a little Mitch McConnell in there. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know why. He ain't even gone yet, but they keep making these pictures like he's still alive. So what? I thought the meme was funny, so I decided to make him a devil. And why? Because I can do that. Moving right along. Okay. John Ledbetter, or Ledworser, as I call him. The sheriff that came out and said he didn't see no foul play right at the beginning, early on, right out the gate, early, super early, like early. John Ledworser, he's a fire-breathing devil as well. It's funny what AI do to him. Look at the spiked hair. Like he wants to be cool as a devil too. Like he's such a pinhead nerd any other time, but I guess AI thought it was good to make him, I guess, a cool devil. All right. Moving right along. Lindsey Graham, he had happened to pass. And guess what? He was a enemy to black people. And he deserves to look like exactly where he going. So I gave him a farewell send-off. Look, I didn't make him burn like that. That's what AI did. AI must know something I don't know. You know, moving right along. The dude that has a similar case like this, you know, the Texas teen arrested months after 18-year-old Daniel Irving drowned in a lake. Ray Hubbard, police say he allegedly tried to cover up what happened by hiding Daniel's clothes and throwing his phone instead of calling for help. That devil right there. Yep, got him too. It's devils all amongst us. Hey, had to double back on Mitch McConnell. Thought it was funny. Mitch McConnell doing the Thriller. I thought it was hilarious. Had to double back on that. You know, because I don't give a damn. You understand? Yeah, somebody got to clap back at these folks. Somebody got to do it. I'll do it for y'all. Just support me. I'll do it. I'm going to clap back at them for y'all. I know some people got jobs. I know some people can't, you know what I'm saying? Let social media be out there. Follow me and I'll do it for you. I got you. Yeah, I'm getting it in like that. Straight like that. Look, it's devils every day. I can put devils up every day. This is a former California mayor that has been arrested and charged with repeatedly actually assaulting a juvenile foreign exchange student who was living at his house. Shorty coming all across the pond to come get her education, and she got to worry about the mayor trying to slay her. Is that devil worthy? Is it devil worthy? Is it devil worthy? Oh, let me put the auto tune on. Is it devil worthy? Is what I'm trying to ask you. Moving right along. Oh, You didn't think y'all got female devils too? Well, meet Victoria. Acting inappropriately with a shorty. Allegedly sitting on the toilet with her thing exposed while a shorty was touching her and laughing. And y'all want to know how they found out? Do you want to know how they found out she was a devil? Do you want to know? Well, Victoria's roommate gave her a phone on the plan. And when she had to move, he took the phone back. And Victoria unfortunately left the videos on her phone with her doing that to a child. Mm, mm, mm. Victoria, Victoria, Victoria. Moving right along. Moving right along. Oh my God, is that the fifth grade teacher facing 25 ex crime charges involving two of the students? No, say it ain't so now. Marissa? Come on now, Marissa. Marissa Noel. And look, she 31. She look every bit 47. Matter of fact, she ain't never been 31 in her life. She went from 25 to 47. On my mama. On my mama. Yeah, they got female ones too, y'all. They got female ones too. Moving right along. What is that? Why is there so many of y'all officials getting caught up for the touchy and the feely? Huh? Why is that a Maple Grove police chief that was charged with criminal actual conduct involving a teenage girl? Why is that? Why is Mike 36 look like he every bit a 65? Like he suffered from diabetes? Why he look like that? Why he look like he got a pack of Marlboros and Jamesons in his back pocket right now? Like he drink old number 7. Touching them cheering. What? Is that devil worthy, y'all? I'm just trying, and we ain't even swung around to Nolan's friends yet. These are just the devils that I just want to jump in between. Is that a man that uses the AI to create actual child cheering, actual abuse material? Not Joseph, age 32, look every bit 48 with a pension and has a second job working under the table as a janitor in a nightclub. Not Joseph. Is that I'm asking y'all, is that devil worthy? Did I call him a devil for no reason? He using AI all the wrong way. All the wrong way. All of it. The wrong way. They didn't say go make AI make no cheering. It didn't say that. That wasn't in the disclosure, my guy. Nope. Huh? Hold on. Oh no. Oh no, Nathan. Nathan? No. You wasn't a nursery worker that was guilty of scraping them cheering. Was you? Not queer eye for the straight guy face. Not RuPaul's best friend. Working around the cheering? Is that a devil? I just want to know. I'm just trying to find out if anybody, got any answers. He working around the cheering? Not around the cheering. Damn. Now, hold on now. This father got life for doing what? For taking out the 12-year-old son and then attempting to get the daughter? Did he take out the son because he knew what he was perhaps allegedly doing with the daughter? Devil? Huh? I'm just asking y'all. I'm just asking for a friend. I got questions for a friend. That's Anthony Andrew, 53, was sentenced by Judge Tracy Lee to 60 years in prison to a Connecticut Division of Corrections. Mm, mm, mm. We still ain't got to Nolan's friends yet. Is that the Mississippi coroner? The other person that's holding that throat? Hey, man, you got to give up that throat, bruh. Hey, man, what you holding on to that boy throat for, bruh? what you holding in that throat for, devil? He got 4 horns. He's like super duper devil. He has 4 horns. What you holding on? Where that throat at, dog? Huh? We asking the tough questions over here on the Keep It P podcast. Make sure you hit that like button and make sure you subscribe if you've never been here. Where's that throat at, homeboy? Homeboy, talking to you. Where that throat at, cuz? Now, cuz is catching strays. He a Mississippi Chief Medical Examiner, Mark Levon, and he's being investigated by the Attorney General right now as we speak. And he's been placed on administrative leave, basically vacation. But guess what? The officials ain't saying nothing about the case. But we want to know where that neck at, though, cuz. Did it have something to do with the neck? Where the neck? I'm trying to find the neck. Ooh-wee. Is that the Governor Tate Reeves? The in-game boss devil himself? That boy looked like who you play at the end of Contra. That nigga is the nigga at the end of Shinobi. That nigga looks hard to beat, cuz. But he was also one of them ones that said, wasn't no foul play in the Nolan Wells case. He ain't got no facts, but he trusts what Sheriff Ledworser's doing. That boy looked like the in-game, hard to beat. You done used all your quarters, boss. That nigga looked like the boss on the end of Final Destiny. Whatever that is. Ooh-wee. That ain't Angela, the Attorney General, that said the autopsy was going to be held till it go to the grand jury. That you can't rush her. Everything takes time in the investigation. Boy, she looked like a warlock demon devil broad. She looks like the wicked devil of the West face ass. She looked like Penelope Devil throat face. Penelope Schumacher the devil face.
It ain't no other way. FBA on code and we switching up the game.
I'm telling you, we switching up the game. Ooh, is that Traston Faston? Is that I resonate more with my white side than my black side? You know what? You know what? It was the white side that looked out for me more than the black side. Ocean Springs is gonna look out for Ocean Springs, man. Is that Trace? Is that Trace Starion? Is that him? Did I make these people devil unjustly? I don't think so. Is that Officer Race Batum Tizatum? Y'all know he the first black devil, right? Y'all know he the first black devil, right? You know he the first black devil, right? You know that, right? You know that, right? He the first one. I'm just saying, is they devil worthy? He's a two-faced snake in the grass devil. Oh, Wizard of Oz devil face ass. And then we got, hold on, then we got Bartholomew. Then we got Bartholomew. They golden boy. This the one. Now, have y'all noticed that Bart, notice Warren ain't talking about Bart no more. Notice Warren and Bart ain't saying nothing. But they didn't separate it from Bart. My buddy Bart. Remember, he was all my buddy's boat, my boat, my buddy, my boat, Bart, my boat, me and my buddy Bart in the boat. Remember, he was doing all that. Notice though, some finna go down because they picking sides. Y'all better pay attention, right? Then the one that's she set it off. This one got so many views on it. When she came out with that statement, oh boy, they had a field day with this one. They had a field day with Mrs. Ashley. Had a field day. I'm surprised I didn't make the sue cut, the little list when they were suing people. I am so surprised I wasn't on there. I should have been on there. I should have been up on there. Then we got giraffe neck, highest giraffe coochie neck, Warren. We got Warren, I store all my food in my neck, Hudson. We got Warren, the refrigerator neck, Hudson. We got Warren Stromboli neck, Hudson. This one, I got these ones pinned to the top. These ones is doing numbers. These ones doing numbers, y'all. But as you see, nobody's safe. Refrigerator. Nobody's safe, guys. Nobody's safe. I don't care. I don't give a damn. Come for me. Come get me now. Come for me now. What you gonna do, Jim Shoe? I love you too. Straight up. I love you. I love what I do. That's why I do this. I do this. Now, guess what I'm gonna do? Since everybody in here that's been here, I've seen all the other people drop off. Now, this is something that we do on the Keep It P podcast, y'all. We do a roll call and we tell what city and state we from, right? So we about to do it, and it also get the bad spirits out the chat too. So y'all got to participate. If you rolling with us, we need to hear that roll call. Come on, my members and everybody, y'all know what to do. Come on. Come on. The Bay Area up in here. We got Colorado Springs up in here. Oh, yeah. Connecticut up in here. Phoenix up in here. El Cajon, California up in here. City of the Fountains 41 up in here. Richmond, Virginia up in here. Atlanta up in here. Tyler, Texas up in here. Erie, PA up in here. St. Louis family. Chicago, Illinois. Dallas, Texas. San Francisco, California. Bmore, Oakland, California. New Jersey. Detroit, Texas. California. Corinth, Mississippi. DC. Queensbridge, New York. Hey, Mississippi. Southeast Alabama, Philly, Waterbury, Connecticut, Inglewood, California, Houston, South GA, East Africa, Cleveland, Ohio, the moon, goddammit, Indiana, North Carolina, Carson, Long Beach, California. Ow! We got Corinth in this joint, Seattle, Washington in this joint, Bridgeport, Connecticut, Richmond, California, Ocean Springs, Mississippi. We got Tacoma, Washington. We got Arizona. We got Maui, Hawaii. We got Silver Springs, Maryland. Come on now. Where y'all at? Uh-oh, Huntsville, GA. Uh-oh. Where y'all at? Hey. San Diego. Dago. Hey. Philly all day. Philly all day. Walk. New Hampshire, Merrimack. Hey. San Antonio, Texas for the flexes from Long Beach to Texas. Hartford, Connecticut. Don't forget it, kid. Hey. Hinesville, Georgia, Las Vegas, Salute, Arizona, Somalia, Long Beach. Woo! St. Louis, Missouri. Hey! Come on. New Mexico. Let you know. Hey. See, so just so y'all know, it's just a show of unity. Carson, California, I see you. Just a little show of unity. You know what I'm saying? A little community. You know what I'm talking about? How we do it on the Keep It Peace side of the game. Marietta, Georgia up in here. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? That's how we do. Sometimes when the fools get a little too loose in the chat, we smack them back. St. Louis in this thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, love, light. Yeah. Just a little something, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We ain't here, you know what I'm saying? We just up in here just, vibing amongst the peoples and all of that there. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Woo, cosmic, geometry. I see you. Yeah, it's a little family affair. You know what I'm saying? Little fail of the family. Little something like that. Yeah. Oh, we got a loving chat. You know what I'm saying? We all talk to each other. Listen, if y'all on the portrait version, which is with the stuff like you got Warren above me and the chat below, we also got a landscape version. So all you got to do is click on the channel and then go to the video that has the least amount of views. You're gonna see 2 streams, and that's the big one. That way you get to see the chat from all of the channels, because we are running this program on 3 channels. So go ahead and subscribe to your prospective platform that you're on. Shout out to Jay Lava. Shout out to Keep It P Podcast. Shout out to Keep It P Podcast Raw. Shout out to Twitch. Shout out to TikTok. I wish y'all come over here and join the party on YouTube, TikTok, because the program that I use doesn't give me the ability to let y'all talk in the chat and be seen in the conversation. So I know TikTok might be your platform, but come on over to this YouTube. Shout out to the Facebook as well. So we everywhere. Keep It P Podcast is a global show. I just want you to know that. I want you to know that. Okay. I'm Jay Lava. I scour the internet so that you don't have to. I'm gonna go ahead and conclude this one. I just wanted to get us hype and all that. But we usually do like some midnight crime, right? J Lava straight to the moon. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. We doing some late night crime tonight. I made a promise to myself on my goals on the amount of the content that I wanted to put out, and just because it's late in the night, I still got to make a sacrifice and put up that crime because y'all, I know y'all need that crime, baby. You know what I'm talking about? We need that crime tonight. You know what I'm talking about? But stick and stay. I ain't gonna wait the 30 minutes I usually wait to come back in on another stream. I'm gonna just build it up real quick and click it on. So be looking. Hopefully YouTube give you a notification. If not, this is where you subscribe and hit that bell for them notifications. You know what I'm talking about? It's real simple, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my mods and my members and the new subscribers. Oh yeah. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all because without y'all, I would be talking to my damn self. And I love you for it. I love you. I love you. I love you. Anyway, thanks for the jewels. You know, yeah, jewels, super chats, all that's welcome. You know what I'm saying? I'm just working here. I'm just putting out content for the people that I hope it is enjoyable and informative. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all gonna be spending a lot of y'all idle time on these here internet streets with anybody, but you chose to be here with me. And boy, I'm trying to tell you now, I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, boy. Like down here in the cusp of the heart muscle now. You got to understand where I'm coming from now, boy. Y'all be blessing me with all type of life now to keep my engine rolling, boy. You get me started now. And I just want to give you a big OG salute now, boy, cause y'all some stomp downs on the lookout side of the game now. I'm trying to tell you. I don't know why I turn into this old dude sometimes when I'm talking, but I do. But yeah, now I'm trying to tell you now. Understand it's in the heart area now. Oh yeah, I'm a true player now, boy. You got to understand me now. In the heart area, boy. I give you some game now, but your ears don't be working right. And see, that's your problem right there, boy. You're moving too fast now, boy. You're moving too fast. You got to slow down now, turtleneck now. Uh-huh. Put some brakes on it there, little partner now. I'm trying to tell you. Now, y'all don't y'all don't want to see the old man. The old man always says like dumb stuff that doesn't make any sense, but it makes perfect sense if you really think about what he's saying. Like it might sound like it don't make sense, but it makes a whole bunch of sense. He got a lot of game. The old man got a lot of game. Listen, boy, I put a little fat on your head now. Because what you're not gonna do is act like fat meat ain't greasy now. I'm trying to tell you, when you put it in the pot and broil it right, there you go now. Put it together now. Trying to tell you. It's always the old dude that be saying stuff that don't make no sense. You be like, what, old man? And then like you get into a certain situation and you'll hear that voice. See, boy, now I told you. I done told you now. You'll hear that out the blue some damn where you be like, man, Old dude was right. ah, but y'all know me. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm a mold you, fold you, and scold you about being on code. And you know, I got 4 words for you. I need you to go ahead and subscribe for the vibes, like for the spike, comment your vomit, share if you care about getting black empowerment everywhere. Please do that on the platforms that we are on, Jones. And just to bring it all the way home, I got love, peace, blessings, and aloha. I got some stuff in the links in the description if you want to mess with the boy. And I'll be right back with the crime, man. I swear.